Ethiopia next, where Prime Minister Abiy Ahmed has vowed to bring to justice those responsible for violence that left at least 67 people dead in the past week. Violence erupted in the capital, Addis Ababa, and the outlying Oromia region on Wednesday after a prominent activist accused security forces of trying to orchestrate an attack against him. Now, Nicolas Germain is in studio from our Africa desk to explain a little bit more. Nicola, this all started last week when Jaawar Mohammed, this activist and media mogul, he claimed he felt his own personal security was under threat. And the police are saying this is all not true. We have in no way threatened him. So who is this man, for those who aren't familiar with Jaawar Mohammed, and why has he become a sort of lightning rod for protesters in Ethiopia against the Prime Minister?
Well, he's a young man. He's only 33. He's from the Oromo people, like the Prime Minister Abiy Ahmed. And the Oromos, they are the biggest, largest ethnic group in Ethiopia, which, of course, is the second most populous country in Africa with more than 100 million inhabitants. So Jaawar Mohammed, he left Ethiopia in 2003 to study abroad. And quite quickly, he became one of the most popular opposition politicians in exile. In Minneapolis, he created a media called the Oromia Media Network. And with this media, he organised many of the protests, the large protests between 2015 and 2018, where many people were saying that the Oromo people were marginalised. And these protests, of course, they led to the resignation of Prime Minister Desalegn and the arrival in power of Abiy Ahmed. So you can really say that he helped Abiy Ahmed come to power. And when Abiy Ahmed came to power, he released many political prisoners. He allowed the return of opposition activists such as Jaawar Mohammed, who made a triumphant return in the summer of 2018. What we can also say about Jaawar Mohammed is that he's eloquent. He has nearly 2 million followers on Facebook. He's described as a hard-working man and a disciplined man, but his detractors, they say that he's a populist.
Now, Prime Minister Abiy Ahmed, he's an excellent reputation internationally. He's just won the Nobel Peace Prize for forging a peace deal with neighbouring Eritrea. But this conflict with minorities in Oromia, it risks overshadowing all of that. Why has the relationship soured to such an extent then between Ahmed and Jaawar Mohammed, this activist figure?
Indeed, initially they were friends. When he returned to Ethiopia, he became an advisor to Abiy Ahmed, but very quickly it was a love-hate relationship, and Abiy saw him as a potential rival. But the main difference politically between the two men is that Jaawar is what they call an ethno-nationalist. His priority is for more political and cultural autonomy for the Oromo people, whereas Abiy Ahmed doesn't want to talk about ethnic politics. He's interested in Ethiopia as a nation. But the paradox is that because of his reforms, Abiy Ahmed's reforms, there is now greater freedom of speech, and this has led to a rise in ethnic tensions. We saw it last week, 67 people killed in Oromia. Amnesty International says that there have been dozens of arrests in Oromia, so the tensions are real. Abiy Ahmed, he's targeted Jaawar Mohammed without mentioning his name. For example, recently he criticised media owners who don't have an Ethiopian passport. Jaawar Mohammed was born in Ethiopia, but he's a US citizen. The big question now is what happens in the next year's election in 2020. Abiy Ahmed is a likely candidate, but will Jaawar Mohammed be a candidate? He said he doesn't exclude this, and if he is a candidate, this would be a real political blow for his former friend Abiy Ahmed.
Nicolas Germain, thanks for that update on the situation in Ethiopia.